What's up, guys, and welcome to Just the Tip podcast on a Monday.
What up, what up? I am fooling around multitasking. I ordered these off of Amazon. They're a Tom Burton deck box, and it looks like it's a double wide. So you're thinking, okay, well, I can put 2 decks in there, but I was today years old when I got it. And I looked at it, and I did put a deck in there, but like it has the little pocket for where you put your dice, a little tray, and a little divider here, and then like your sideboard. So I thought you'd be able to get another deck over here. I tried to pull this.
I was going to say, does that come out?
I think if I really, really mess with it, because it's loose on one side, but like you really have to force the issue, and I don't want to break the integrity of the whole unit, so I guess it's a single sleeve. But it also has the, you can put your commander right there.
Well, let's switch over. Yep.
Yeah, you can put your commander right in the front. It comes with the little hard case for it, so it protects it better.
Heck yeah.
It's pretty damn cool. I got a good deal on it for Black Friday. I got this one, and then I got the blue one. So, yeah. Tom Bert, it's TOMMBERT, like my old dog. Rest in peace, Bert. Very sound quality, but I'm kind of disappointed you can't put 2 decks in there.
Yeah.
But
Nice. They look nice, though.
you know what else works good? Invicta watch cases. You can use them as deck boxes too for Commander. So yeah,
Dude, they gave you a hell of a case for one. My Invicta does not have that.
Oh yeah,
My
not all of
Movado
them
doesn't
do.
have that.
Not all of them do. Here's what I took the Panaslaza deck out of, and it's got the foam top in there like this, but you can put it right in there.
Show them the sticker, too, because that's a...
It was a dinosaur deck, so Reptar.
Oh, yeah.
So
Reptar.
we shut that bad boy up, put that shit in there like that, but yeah, I got a real big briefcase in Invicta 1 too, so
Hell yeah.
it's pretty cool. But that actually has watches in it. Anyways, that's
the kickoff right
completely
there.
off topic.
Topic. Yeah. Guys, if you're joining us today for the first time, this is a podcast where we'll cover pretty much anything. If you like what we're doing, make sure you give us that subscribe, that follow, that like. And guys, before we do get into what our topics are, something that King and I would just want to throw out a quick piece for the little intro that you guys just heard coming in to the stream. So Stellar Modus released recently a new album, correct?
I believe so.
So lots of tracks that you can go and check out, including that one. There are actual lyrics and what have you. But with this, we just asked for their instrumental, and they actually gave it to us ahead of them releasing this album. So a local band, actually friends of King and mine, that we didn't find out until we were talking about the band themselves. But make sure you give them a follow. They're actually on Instagram. They are on all the major music networks as well that you can find their music. So make sure you give them a peep.
Yeah, man.
So guys, today we're going to be talking about a few different things. A lot of presidential or political pieces with the current sitting president, including pardons of jail time, pardons of student loans, to the next topic of the border wall, moving into a little bit of the NFL, and some lookalike competitions that we'll talk about at the very end.
Yeah, dude.
So
That's fucking mind-blowing.
thank you guys for checking us out. We're going to roll right into it and share our screen with you. So the very first topic we have is Biden commuted the sentence of judge behind the Kids for Cash scandal. The judge was sentenced to 28 years in prison for a kickback scheme where he made millions of dollars for sending children to for-profit prisons. So the scandal, the Kids for Cash scandal, is considered among the biggest courtroom frauds in U.S. history. They shut down a country-run juvenile detention center and accepted payments from the builder and co-owners of 2 for-profit lockups. This is the guy that Biden just saw very fit to commute his sentence.
Him and a plethora of 1,499 other people, and I believe some of them had like some pretty heinous fucking charges, like
His son.
kitty diddler stuff on their hard drives and stuff like that. There was a lot of, oh man, some nefarious fucking people that he pardoned. That's a lot of pardons, dude. 1,500.
Yeah, and nothing like waiting till I'm out the door.
And this dude,
Like every
basically,
time.
they've actually made shows about where they had children being put away and being profiting. I believe there was a Law and Order episode of that. I might be wrong, but I know they've covered shit like that before on actual TV shows, and that was kind of like the plot of it all, where they like the kid would do something and it wouldn't even be that bad of a crime, but you know what, the state was going to profit of it, or that individual, because like a lot of prisons are privately owned,
Oh yeah,
so that's revenue for them.
one of our biggest revenue sources is our incarceration system.
The land of the free happens to be the biggest prison population on the fucking planet.
Yep, we have more people in prison per capita than anywhere else.
That is correct.
Than anywhere else.
Land of the free. But no, there was some, like, look up some of these people
Yeah.
that got pardoned, and you'll be astonished that, like, wow, that's fucking, it's pretty fucking nasty.
And just because you had some kind of a pull or somebody knew you that's in power, and now we're going to use this guy to get you out.
Yeah, yeah.
Yet we have, and this is a controversial subject, but yet we have thousands upon thousands of people sitting in jail cells for marijuana charges.
Yeah. And yet, it's legal for a price if you go get your little card and get a
Yep.
doctor's permission.
Another
and-
tax here, baby.
Yeah, like they found a way to tax it. But
Yep.
yeah, that's terrible as well. But you can go out there and you can pound fucking beer after beer, bottle after bottle, show up to work the next day, you know, hungover or still drunk or whatever. And
Do
no
it
biggie.
again.
No biggie.
Yep,
No
do it
biggie.
again.
Well.
So on the topic of pardons, we're gonna roll right over to the next piece. So this,
me?
yeah, this is something that I'm kind of curious as to how discernment was placed, just like the pardons of the people. But so Biden announces $4.28 billion in student loan relief for 55,000 borrowers. So that math, once again, seems insane.
Yeah,
Ready?
I'm ready.
So let's look at this, because if that's true, and it does say that he's looking at for upwards of loan forgiveness of 5 million Americans at 180 billion, but 55,000. So what are these guys' loans, or where did they go to school? Because if this is not that's not a public school at 4.2 billion for $55,000. No way.
That's a lot of jack.
Yeah. So here we go,
And it's
and
interesting
that's
to
million.
see who
That's
he
billion.
bought off with political influence by doing that.
So each of these people's loans for that amount, their student loan would have been $78,000 each.
Yeah.
They didn't go to Culinary Institute of America back in 2000 for $72,000 school. Like none of the. That's
Yeah.
obscenely high. Paying off people's
Well,
private things.
Yeah, but I'm wondering who they were. Like, cause like, remember how like
Let's see.
back in the COVID days, you know, the frontline workers were heroes until it was time to tell them to get the jab, and then they were no longer heroes. They were frontline, you know, guinea pigs.
So it does
So-
say 55,000 public service workers.
Public service.
So it
workers.
sounds like government.
Are these people that like, you know? I'm wondering their political affiliation.
So the forgiveness plan will be delivered to individuals enrolled in the public service loan forgiveness program, which allows for debt forgiveness for people in jobs like firefighting, nurses, and teachers.
All right. Now,
All right,
that
so-
clears that question up.
Yep. And I'm more okay with that than just doing some random people. But you know
Yeah.
that there's random people
Yeah.
thrown into there too.
People are out there actually servicing their community, and
Yep.
you know, firefighters, especially.
Agreed,
And
because the majority of
nurses.
them are volunteers
Yeah,
too.
yeah, and nurses, and like these people are studied hard, and yeah, student loans are unrelenting.
Well, and that makes more sense on the $78,000 when it's talking about nursing and teaching.
So Biden, you know, pardons a bunch of fucking criminals, and then kind of like, oh, you know what, I'm gonna wash it over by, you know, forgiving some of this student debt.
Hey guys, now that I don't have to pay for these criminals in jail, I have about $4.2 billion sitting around.
Where's that money going to get reallocated? Though?
Right.
Like, where are we going to end up paying for it?
Yep.
Because I'm sure there's going to be something on the back end where, like, well, not everything is free. You're either going to pay for it up front, or you're going to pay for it out, morally, or you're going to pay for it somewhere down the road. Yeah.
I'm seeing if anything else pops up randomly in here. More than 1 million. We're through.
He looks so confuddled.
In every picture.
Wondering if somebody else farted or if he did himself.
Couldn't remember. So, I mean, my feelings on this, if it is for these people, I'm okay supporting these people. This is the same thing. I'm okay with supporting our military. You don't have to support the reasons that what they're doing. But
if you take out a loan, you're contractually obligated to pay it back yourself. So somebody, again, this is not free. Someone is going to, they're going to pay for it. Their labor are going
just
to
like
pay
COVID
for
checks. Everybody happy to see it free, but now when a can of soup that was 44 cents is $1.30.
Yeah, dude. I went with a bag from Wegmans a couple of days ago. It was just one brown paper bag, $75.
Yeah.
Look, what the fuck did I even buy?
Yeah. Nothing. You go to Walmart, I've never been much, and there's nothing wrong with this, but I've never been much of like an Aldi's and all this other stuff. That's where I started going now because it actually makes a difference. It's insane.
Yeah. Club, man.
I have a family of 6 guys, so.
Yeah.
Ooh.
This is half of a Tyreek Hill over here.
Yeah, except we don't have 12 moms for 9 kids somehow, That's not any shade at you, Tyreek. It's just shade at you.
Wow. That's a lot of baby moms.
That sure is. It sure is. Our next topic, guys, sticking with this man right in the center here. This guy. So the next one is actually something King brought up. I was unaware of this until he just said it. So I'm going to pull this over and switch on up. I am going to read this off as it goes through because this isn't a narrated video or anything. But King, why don't you give him a synopsis of what you saw?
I was at the gym, and then I believe it was Fox News. Anything south of I-90, them rednecks be watching them Foxes.
News.
They were selling off parts of the border wall. I remember when Trump got ousted and then Biden got installed, Trump had all these things still on pallets. And a lot of construction pieces, steel beams and fencing and
raw materials,
and all, as well as surveillance materials, like wiring and all that stuff. And it was just sitting there, just in the elements, just getting baked in the sun.
Yep.
And they stopped building because they had their new regime in there, and so that's been sitting there for the past 4 years. And I saw a headline on which Biden was selling it off. Now, him selling it off could mean more jobs because, someone's going to have to recreate that shit again, and that might pay back those student loans.
But look at what the problem we just caused, too. This is just everything does degrade by itself just sitting there, too.
Yeah. It's just sitting there.
It absolutely does, but that's like having a restaurant, ordering a bunch of food and just letting it sit there and being okay with throwing it out at the end of the day, or selling it to some food pantry for next to nothing because we just sat on it.
Right, but there's even there was a book by Smedley Butler. I think I've brought him up in our podcast before, A Decorated War Hero. He exposed how the military-industrial complex, reaped profits for certain people.
Yep.
And they would order stuff for their military that it wouldn't even be used, but it created jobs, and it created these things that these people would go make them, and they would just come off and sit somewhere or die off. This could be a scenario just like that.
Right?
Yeah, but
all right, guys, here I'm going to maximize it and play this. All right, so the Biden administration is facing mounting blowback for its decision to allow new border wall construction along the U.S. border. In a signal, the move that could hurt the U.S.-Mexico relations, well, that went fast, for paving the way in construction of new section of border in Mexico. The debate will play out again in the coming weeks as Congress considers to keep the government funded past November 17. This authorization for the construction of the wall is a step backwards ahead of the meeting the U.S. Secretary, according to... Wow, this is fast.
Dude, yeah, speed reading.
Oh, man. there we go. We do have the power to pause. Democrats and environmentalists are also panning the administration's decision to waive 26 federal laws to allow the border wall construction in Texas, Rio Grande Valley. Biden defended the change October 5th, saying Congress appropriated funding for the border wall construction under former President Trump and refused his request to move the funding to other programs. The money was appropriated for the border wall. I tried to get them to reappropriate it to redirect that money. They didn't. Biden also gave a flat no answer when asked if he believed the border wall works to curb the flow of migration into the U.S.
That last part was very interesting, seeing as how he let everybody hemorrhage through.
That's well, and how does it not? The word was curb, which just means to deter
Yeah.
or change traffic. How would it not?
Yeah. It would impede.
It doesn't say stop.
It would impede their
That's
progress.
all that is
Yeah.
curbing something.
Yeah. It would slow it. But
Yeah.
The way they just, it was like, they pretty much opened it up. Like,
Right.
I remember some of the stories where they're like, a lot of border patrol were just told to like stand down.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, you let it flow through so fucking porously. I don't know if that's a word, but it is today.
It is a word.
Then say that the wall wouldn't be a deterrent. No, I mean, we shouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. Yeah. That's just
This dude is you know,
off his border.
a whole fucking idiot.
Off his border. Guys, our next subject we're going to roll into is the NFL. So they can't see the screen or anything right now, but this has nothing to do with it. That's on my screen. But the NFL, King and I were sitting here just talking, and I'm a Bills fan. He's a Miami fan. So as far as our teams, they're a little bit in the rival division, but on top of it, it's been another strange year in football, back to back. This is the second 17 game season, isn't
I
it?
believe second or third.
Yeah,
I think
so
second.
and there's been so many different changes in football. So many of them I'm not a fan of, but this is, I'm going to bring it up right now. Current standings, and this just shows some games from yesterday and this weekend, and we're just going to kind of have an open discussion about some things going on in football. So if you guys can't see this, I'm going to scroll and zoom in.
The fucking Lions, I hear, are a mash unit, injury-wise.
Dude, 16. So there are 16 defensive injuries right now. 16. There are 11 people that play on a side of football, guys. So literally, yeah, you have your entire plus 5 extras that are all injured, and this team only has 2 losses, right?
I don't know, click on them.
Yeah,
They don't have many.
I want to say Lions have 2 losses. Yeah, the Lions.
Let's go to stats.
Standings,
NFL stats. Standings.
right there. Standings. Yeah, 2 losses.
Wow.
Yeah, 13 and 2.
Against is pretty low, 299. I mean, it's not terrible.
So, guys, one of the stats that we ended up just randomly talking about because it was we saw it on the internet, but you can like the Chiefs, you cannot like the Chiefs, you can like Mahomes, you cannot like him. I'm not a fan of him, but he's definitely proven that he's a good player. But there's some strange stats that are out there right now. Go ahead and say what you told me, and then I was like, oh yeah, I saw it.
I believe there are 5 teams in the NFL.
4. 4.
4?
4.
I think it's 5. I might be wrong. 4 or 5 that have not scored 30 points yet this season in a game.
Yep.
And the Chiefs are one of them.
Correct. And the Chiefs have, once again, 1 loss.
And if you go by that 1 loss and you go back to some of these calls, and this is why I don't watch, like Josh says, I'm a Dolphins fan. I stopped watching last year. I didn't watch really any games at all this year unless they were like background noise and somebody else was watching them in the room. But FanDuel and DraftKings are betting agencies, and
Yep.
they're sponsoring the NFL or vice versa. They're in partnership with each other. they have access to fix all of these errors, and they're not, because you have the technology to go back and go, well, that shouldn't be done. Or they could easily go, well, it would take, well, I guess their bitch about it is like, oh, it would make the game longer if they did that. You guys love watching the NFL. Which is it? You don't want to watch more football, or you want to watch more football?
Right.
So to replace the integrity that is gone in this game, you have the technology to go back and look stuff over, find things that need to be fine, correct things that need to be corrected. Like, if this call was bad, then you go back and fucking reverse it. You have the tech to do it. Why aren't you doing it? Well, nefarious purposes. A lot of those Chiefs wins, and I've seen footage, and I still read stats, but I vote with my dollar. I don't really give them any viewership other than like shit on YouTube or like,
here's the clip
or whatever. Yeah. And then you just go, how the fuck was that even allowed?
Yeah.
And like how that offensive line will just maul people and never get called for shit.
Yep.
And like some of these like PIs and non-PIs that were called, that they could easily have 7 fucking losses.
Oh, they barely squeaked it out. So I think it was 8 of them, 8 of their last, or no, it was 16 of their last wins. And they were talking about into the last season, came within 1 point. So not just 1 point, 1 score games. So whether it was 3 or 7, they have not beaten anybody by a long shot. But he just always somehow finds a great, excellent way, or they do, to make it work in the last minute and a half.
Yeah.
Absolutely ridiculous.
It's too storybook for me. It's too coincidental for me.
It happened at 13 seconds twice against the Bills.
He's getting the LeBron treatment and the Tom Brady treatment. And I, like, as a Dolphins fan and you as a Bills fan, you kind of looked at some games where the Patriots were like, wow, they're clearly dominating.
Oh, yeah.
Dominating, but they got calls going their way.
Yep.
And then here we go, conspiracy right here. The Patriots were dominant right after 9/11. And patriotism was
Listen
huge
to the name, yeah.
for the next 2 decades.
Yep.
Not saying there's any smoke where there's fire, but there might be smoke where there's fire.
But generally, that's how a fire starts, I hear.
Right. So Brady got a lot of calls. He got a tuck rule made for him, like all kinds of shit.
Oh, yeah.
So they really curbed a lot of their fucking rules around him. He got a lot of ignorant amount of calls in his favor. LeBron, same thing. Like, it's a soft league anymore. You're not getting hacked on like, back when Jordan played in the 90s, early 2000s or whatever. The rules have fundamentally changed. This dude will flop. I've seen LeBron get like his head brushed and then like he just lays on the ground.
Oh, yeah.
You're not the GOAT when you're doing dumb shit like that, dude. I don't give a fuck what your stats say.
Yep.
Like, you're just, you know you're on camera, right? You do know you look like a fucking idiot.
Especially when somebody plays in slow-mo and they hit you here, and you go.
Yeah, and you just fucking, like, there are people watching this, like.
It happens now that you can't even really touch a quarterback. That happens all the time in the
so when you do
NFL.
something like that on film and try to sell it, your integrity as a person and a player is shit to me.
Yeah.
It's just not there. But anyway, back in the NFL, it's a whole bunch of shit. The Bills look like they're doing great, though.
So this would be the year that I've watched the least amount of football, too, which is strange, but I've had no reason to really sit there and be all about it in it. My prediction, and I'm a Bills fan, I hate saying this because I always see this happen, but Mahomes against the Bills in the playoffs is perfect so far.
Yeah.
Now the Mahomes versus Josh Allen in the regular season is 4-1. Josh almost always beats him, but they find a way in the last 13 seconds, last 2 years, to beat him in 13 seconds somehow.
Yeah. Bills almost lost the Patriots.
Oh man, that was I watched the first half of the game, and that was just an ugly game. You could tell they went in there thinking they don't really have to play. But that was a game. You're still fighting for the number 1 seed.
Yeah.
Like the defense, and the Bills' defense is torn up too. Not like the 16 players like the Lions, but the Bills are really, really tore up as far as defense, and that's what the problem was in that game. Josh Allen made it on the field. He scored.
We'll go 2 things here. Back to my Dolphins here. Dan Campbell, who's now the coach of the Lions, was the intern coach when the Dolphins fired, I believe, Joe Philbin, and then installed Gase after that. But they had Campbell, and the players loved him. He actually gave them motivation. And I was like, keep this guy. Like, you're not going to spend the fucking top dollar on him. Like, give him a couple years, see what he's got. People like him.
Right.
He's a player's coach, and now he's doing great in Detroit. And then when what's his name, Flores left, they all shit on him on the way out. Like, oh, he was mean. He was this, that, and everything. Well, you wanted a Bill Belichick guy. You finally get one that actually operated like Bill Belichick, and now you shit on him. Here's another one.
Yeah, do you really think Bill Belichick was nice?
Right. Vic Fangio. I mean, yeah, he's a fucking coach. Vic Fangio came and coached the Dolphins defense last year. And they kept bringing in players like they had an injury bug big time. But they kept bringing in players, and he wasn't really getting a say-so. It was Chris Greer was getting a say-so on who they were bringing in. Chris Greer just needs to fucking go. Like, we talked about that several months ago on why he should go. But he would bring in people for him to coach, and he still made something out of nothing defensively with these guys. And then when he left, the players started bashing him. Who is coaching the number one defense in the NFL right now? And what team is that? It's the Philadelphia Eagles, and it's Vic fucking Fangio.
Yep.
Another reason why Chris Greer needs to go.
Yep.
So
that's how you can tell there's a culture around something too.
You're there to be coached. Shut the fuck up and play ball. Like he was mean. Okay,
oh my gosh.
Bro, like he's a coach.
Think about that if you have your own kids. Like that, if you are being friends with your kid, you're failing. Number one, you can be friends with your kid when they're an adult, but you cannot successfully be friends with somebody that is your child right off the bat, because they're going to try to take advantage of that when you need to be their coach.
Right.
You need to be their life coach.
You can be both. You can be their friend, but like the Shakespeare quote, I must be cruel to be kind. And sometimes you have to hit
That's a
that
real friend.
That hard fucking truth. Like, hey, I'm actually. It might look like I'm being mean now, but the world outside is a lot less forgiving than what I am.
Yep.
A coach is pretty much it is a mentor. It is a figure of some type of leadership, like a parent.
Yep.
So when they go in there and they're like, "Hey, this is what works. Let's do this," and then you know what? They're making me work too fucking hard.
Oh yeah. Well, my kids are in football, so I have some young kids that are in football, and I'm listening to other parents bitch that a coach is saying, "Get out there, do it." I'm like, what?
Yeah.
If you have a problem with somebody else talking to your kid, number one, stop fighting all their battles. But number two, you are setting them up for failure. You're gonna what? Nobody can correct your kid.
Right.
And I remember when I played football, man. Holy cow! It was that military mentality, because your friend fucked up. You're all running a hill.
Right.
And that would not fly today. Hey guys, you want to run hills?
No, that's one thing. Even with my kids, like, and that's been something that's way a thing of the past. Is parents would go to school and they would immediately take their kid's side.
Yep.
Whereas, like, if I did something wrong at school, I got the punishment at home and at school.
Correct.
Even when I had my kids, I would go in every day and pick them up, and I would converse with the teacher and be like, thumbs up, thumbs down. And if there was a thumbs down, they give me a story behind it. And that would dictate the rest of their day at home.
Yeah.
And if they did do something wrong, I would hold them accountable. Like, okay, what happened? And I would hear them out. Now, if I thought there was something unjust going on with my kids, of course I'm going to stand up for them. But that's a lot of our society has lost touch with accountability.
Yeah. That's what I was talking about, being their friend.
Somebody else holding somebody accountable, and there's ways to do it that aren't completely, demeaning.
Yeah.
But some people don't have, they're just clear cut. That's what they are. So there's a proper time to defend that type of shit, but then
a lot of people will get the calls from the schools today. I've seen it a bunch. They'll get calls from the school, and it's always defending the kid. Well, what happened? Well, an adult is telling you what happened. When did we lose that?
Yeah.
Like, insane.
Right.
Well, my kid wouldn't do that. I'm telling you that's what the kid did.
Right. Well, that also says something about what they're probably like. They're probably like at home too. Like,
oh yeah.
A lot of kids are product of their environment.
Yep.
So they're gonna mimic what they see, and they'll, even at home, like, it was like my recent teenager when he was at school. I loved him at home in the summertime because, like, it was I didn't have to reprogram them.
Yes.
There was a consistency, and I'm not a big fan of like the public education, because when he would go there, he would see all these other kids acting like idiots, and he would try to assimilate that and then duplicate it at home. And I'm like, where the hell is this coming from?
And it doesn't work here.
Yeah, not happening. But yeah.
How did the NFL turn into that, guys? That's because
deep, man.
I'll tell you why.
Conversation right there.
That's because millionaires are now having feelings about being coached.
Yeah.
Millionaires. Yeah, you can't handle a little bit of that. You're not going to handle success either, though. Right. Clearly, that's exactly what it shows. Guys, one more thing that we want to switch over, so you can't see the screen right now. It's back to another picture that I want to show you guys real quick. Because this one, it is still football related.
It is.
And I got this from King, and I just started dying laughing. All right, so we're going to switch over because this is gold. All right, so I'm going to zoom in for you. This is the Josh Allen lookalike contest at Riverworks. So up top, we got Zachary... I don't even know how to say his name, Bokaki. That's getting close to...
Bokaki.
Yeah, that's getting very close. He's the winner of the Josh Allen lookalike contest. And then right below it, Reginald Swigert, second place in the Josh Allen lookalike contest. I don't see the difference.
Okay, when Josh Allen rattles off the next couple Super Bowls and like wins it, and Disney wants to buy the rights to the Josh Allen story, race swap him with Reginald.
They Disneyed him.
There it is.
You know what's funny? Look at the guy behind him, right here. I wonder if this dude just stepped in the way and it was perfect.
Oh my God.
But it's perfect.
Right now.
This is the reason why the internet's hilarious when people do the shit like
That's
this.
money, bro. That is fucking money.
Guys, we're actually going to be... Are you available this week?
Yeah.
So I'm actually going to be meeting up with King again later this week on Friday. We were doing a little bit of makeup for this last week. My entire household decided to get sick. But we're going to be coming back on Friday to give you another podcast, so we'll be looking out for anything that we see that is happening. But if you guys have any comments, anything you would like us to cover, let us know in the comments, whether you're watching on Twitch, Kick, YouTube, TikTok, or there's another one or two of them out there too. So
Pornhub.
Yeah, that's on there
Bang.
too. Our OnlyFans.
Right. Yes.
But guys, thank you very much for checking us out today. We will be back Friday with some more fun and some more stuff. And until then, I'm Josh.
Yeah, hit up the store, man. Buy some merch. Yeah.
Oh, dude, no, we got the power and the technology to pull that up right now.
Yeah, the store. We like Christmas is you're not gonna get it shipped out that much, that quick, that much. We're gonna get it that quick, but if last minute, gift card comes in the mail and with money on it or whatever, or you want to buy something for somebody, take your ass over to Just a Tip.
And we gotta get some more stuff on here too, because
do. I have ideas. We need to just dedicate like 2 hours where like you grab that little fucking
the iPizzle.
With the fucking app on there, and then like my mind and your artistic ability become one.
That's right. Guys, there is some great stuff on here, from tanks all the way through.
We still need the color of that playmat down there. That right there, right in the middle.
I'll get that done.
Yeah, we can do that.
I'll get that done.
I got some ideas up here. We gotta get together. It is Christmas vacay.
You know what I'll do too is when we're doing this, I could even draw while we're live and talk and show shit.
All right.
That'd be easy.
You can show us how we're doing it.
Yeah, that'd be easy. But guys, thank you very much for checking us out. If you do see anything you like on here, make sure you pop in here and buy it, because there's some hilarious shit, some good ideas that we have going on, and some just sayings as friends and as weird fuckers that we like to put up here.
Yeah, man.
Until then, guys, I'm Josh.
And I'm squeezing a fucking cheeseburger.
Stay moist, guys.
Stay moist.